Welcome back to another video. This is V and you're watching Buzzing with V. Today I'm making a witch hat box using scrapdivadesigns.com's products, and all of the links will be listed below in case you'd like to take a look at that, as well as a discount code for you. That's V10%. That's VEE10 on the percent side. So this witch hat die set has 14 pieces. These are all the pieces that are included. You'll also get a sentiment that says Hocus Pocus. With that sentiment, I had to do a Sanderson Sisters witch hat. I'm using a die for my stash. If you'd like to check that out, that'll be in the description below with all the links as well. Here I'm sharing with you the die cuts against the dies, and I'm also using some purple cardstock along with some orange and a bit of green. And I'm using the DCWV Boo Crew paper pad by American Crafts. And if you can't find that, I'm not sure if it's still available. However, you can check out any of the DCWV paper collections, and I'm sure you'll find one with orange and purples in it. I tried to use all of the dies in this project. There was only one I did not use, and that was the front of the hat buckle. I completely forgot to cut out this piece, so this piece will be in green, and that is the belt for the hat. Later on in the video, I will also share with you which colors I went with for the sentiment. I wasn't sure at this point. Something else, I did do some minimal stitching on this project. I stitched up all of the triangles, and I failed to die cut 4 extra pieces, so that's why you don't see that here, but you do need 4 more pieces. I'm assembling the box now. I'm starting off with the base of the hat, the bottom part, as well as the box. So this piece here I'm holding is the box. This will hold any of your treats, gifts, all the spooky things. After gluing down the sides of the box, next I'm gluing down the bottom of the box. That's the 10-sided shaped decagon that I'm gluing down right now. I am using liquid glue for that one. I found it easier to do it this way, glue down the sides of the box next the bottom, instead of gluing the sides onto the bottom of the box. And I thought it was a tighter fit and more precise, so I went with that after making several attempts at doing this. So yeah, so I worked that out in the beginning. So usually I just jump right in and do everything freehand and cover all my mistakes, but this time I didn't. And the next step is the top of the box. These are the 2 cones that I've picked up here in orange. I'm deciding if that's gonna fit or if I'm gonna need to adjust that or not. And I use liquid glue to glue those 2 pieces down together. I also folded all the score marks prior as well. I think that works out best for me. I decided to curl the tip of my witch hat. I was gonna leave it straight. However, I decided, you know what? The Sanderson sisters sometimes have their hats tilted, so I figured I would do the same. I'm using a paintbrush to curl the tip, and here I'm showing you my little tester box that I used and made prior to the original. And that's all I do. I just grab anything that's going to be circular like this and just start to curl it like a paper bow for all of the crafters who make bows. I'm curling the tip of the hat prior to gluing the layers that go on top of the hat because I'm using hot glue. And the reason why I'm using hot glue is because I want this part to be very sturdy, and hot glue does that for me. And it's just to make sure that everything that you put inside this box isn't going to bend or warp or destroy the top of the hat. So I wanted it to be very sturdy, and that's why I went that route. And so as you can see here, I'm gluing all of those pieces on, and here is the end result. And I love how it's turning out. I mean, there's things that I would have done different. However, I'm still enjoying the end result. And then here is the gray. the green piece that I was talking about. So you do need to die cut 2 of those pieces. I did do some stitching on this as well. I thought the green was too bright, and so I wanted to tone that down just a little bit with the black. You can also use some ink and just dab some ink on the edges. Here I'm gluing down the belt of the hat, and that is in green. I also use the buckle, the bottom of the buckle, and the top is the only one that I do not use. And I'm sharing with you the sentiment. I went ahead and ended up going with a plum background with a lavender top. So as you can see, it says Hocus Pocus. I thought the lavender would brighten up the sentiment, and after I put everything together, it was perfect. Here I'm using some Joann's pom-pom trim. Unfortunately, my Joann's closed. Like all of the stores are closing in where I live, so we have nothing almost. Anyways, I'm gonna glue that down on the bottom of the witch hat, and after I do that, I'm gonna glue down a layer to that so it can cover all of the imperfections and all of the glue bits up. And so this is what it's looking like so far. I just love the colors together. I wanted to do so much more to this, but again, I have to remember that I am using stamped images, and with stamped images work best with a solid color palette, and that's why I went with that. I just wanted to do a solid everything instead of adding different colors here and there like sometimes I do. I also add gems and sequences, and I do so much stitching, and I just wanted to tone that down because of the stamped images. I wanted them to be the center, the focal piece of this piece here. So as well as the Hocus Pocus wording, that one is just, oh my goodness, I just love it. Here I'm deciding how I want all of my pieces to be, and I just love this layout here with the Sanderson sisters, how they always appear in the movie. And I like the wording to be, you know, on the top and sandwiched, or on the top and bottom, having the Sanderson sisters sandwiched in between. So I'm going to glue all that down. As you can see, I am gluing down everything with hot glue. And at this point, I was just like, I don't care anymore. Hot glue, liquid glue. I was just grabbing anything that was near me. So it was easier to grab the hot glue. So I glued all of my pieces down here, and I decided to go with the bat for the top. I also thought of doing a chunky charm there. I thought a chunky charm would look good, or a spider, some sort of charm spider would hanging from that piece. And I decided not to do that. I went with the bat instead. I thought it gave it more of a wow factor. And I'm also going with a piece of a leaf. This is, I picked it off from a pick, a Halloween pick that I had for years already. So it was in my stash. And so I decided to use it. It was the last leaf that I had in my stash. And I thought it went well and made the hat look like it was from that era. You know, back in the older Victorian ages. And so I thought, hey, I'm just going to use it here. And so I ended up gluing it to the back of all of the images. And I'm also going to clip on. So the bat is a clip on. It came from Dollar Tree. You can pick these up anywhere, Michael's or Dollar Tree or Walmart or wherever. They usually have some sort of bat decorations. And I'm also going to use a ribbon bow. This was a pre-made one. I got it from a Halloween group swap. Just grab some ribbon and make a bow out of it. You can do that. And so I decided, it was in my stash, I decided to use it. I thought it went very well here. I originally wanted to do a paper bow. However, I was like, you know what, this one works so good, so I'm just gonna use it. and I do attach it to the bottom base of the hat, and I needed a little lift on that, so I created this here. And all it is it's like I just cut a sliver, or probably about 1/4 of an inch, cardstock by I think like 3 inches. I'm not sure. I will leave the dimensions in the description below. And then I scored it at 1/4 of an inch, and then I made a rectangle, and that's just for the stand to hold the bow in place and lift it just a little bit. For those who stay this long, this is a giveaway. I will be giving away this witch hat Halloween box, and it will include some embellishments inside. All you have to do to enter: like this video, comment your favorite part of the movie Hocus Pocus, be a visible subscriber, be 18 years of age or older, and you will be entered into this giveaway. Again, this box will include some embellishments inside, and I will select a winner within less than a week. And be sure to hit the bell to be notified when I do select a winner. The last winner that I selected didn't contact me, and unfortunately I had to move to the next person. So be sure that if you would like to win this, you have that bell selected for notifications. So this concludes the video. I will see you guys in the next one.